Hello and welcome to Miss Charlotte Astrology. My name is Charlotte. I'm a full-time working astrologer, and on this channel I analyze the astrological charts of public figures, and very often they are celebrities. And today's subject, she is a celebrity, but she is more than anything else. She's an icon of the 90s. You know, you could argue that she was the Marilyn Monroe of the 90s. And that, of course, is the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented Pamela Anderson. So over the last couple of years, she's had this wonderful revival, this resurgence, this Pamela appreciation, this Pamela Anderson renaissance, or as I'd like to call it, the Pamela-sance. And recently she's been in this film called The Last Showgirl, and she's getting really good reviews. I don't know if the film is necessarily that good. I've heard it's getting pretty average to mixed reviews, but she's very good in it. And she's just been nominated for a Golden Globe, and I would just love to see her win something. She's never been nominated for any acting project before. Before this, she was in Baywatch for a few years, and I remember that was out 30 years ago when I was a little girl. And even before that, she was in Home Improvement. And I'm sure if you're a Gen Z, you have no fucking idea what these shows are, which is sad because you missed out. I'm sorry. It was a great time. And I love Pamela, and I'm really proud of her. And I know that she is, she very often says that she's not a feminist, but her life is such a fucking triumph. It really is a triumph. And she's overcome so much sexism, like so much prejudice, so much cruelty. That's why she's an icon. She's been so dehumanized. And you know what? My definition of an icon is a human being that has been so dehumanized over time that they rise to this level of saint, because saints are icons. They rise to this level of almost holiness where they become icons, because that's what an icon is. It's an object. And when you've been dehumanized so much, you become an icon. You actually become an object. You become a symbol of something that is bigger than you. And that's kind of what Marilyn Monroe is. That's what Pamela Anderson is, and many other people that have gone through really horrible, dehumanizing, humiliating situations, is that they become so beloved after all the suffering, usually after they die. I think in Pamela's case, her life is triumphant because she isn't going to have that sad ending like so many blonde bombshells have had. She is triumphant. I would love to see her get a fucking Oscar. So what I want to do is have a look at her chart, understand who she is, and just talk about all the colors and different shades of Pamela Anderson. So before I dive in, I just want you guys to know that I have readings that are available in January. They're getting booked out. We've still got spaces left. So if you would like to talk to me for 1 hour on a Zoom call, the session is recorded, so you get to take away a little recording of it, so you don't have to take notes or worry about remembering anything. If you'd like to do that, you can book below. And if you would like a very generous discount, you can actually become a member of my YouTube. You can sign up for my YouTube members, and you will get that discount. Also, I do 15-minute recorded readings, like synastry readings, transit readings, full chart readings, even solar return readings. And I also do 5-minute focused readings on really specific parts of your chart, or some area in your life you would like me to give you insight on using your chart. You can order one of those below. So thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the Zoom room, or I'll see you on the MP3 recorded readings. Thank you. That was the word from our sponsor, me. Okay, so let's have a look at Pamela Anderson's chart. So she is a Gemini rising. She is a Cancer Sun and Mercury. She's a Venus and Leo. Venus and Leos, they're always in trouble. Mars and Libra, and then she's got that Aries moon, and that Aries moon is in opposition to Mars. Oh boy. this is a tough chart. And of course, she's got that midheaven in Aquarius. So Pluto's just swung into there, literally like within like a couple of months of Pluto swinging into Aquarius, she's nominated for her work. Like she's nominated for her most recent film, which is so appropriate for this transit. All right, where shall we start? What can we say about her? Okay, let's talk about it because people love to talk about a love life, so let's do that. Venus in Leo loves a grand gesture. They fall in love fast and hard. It is a very beautiful Leo, but incredibly idealistic when it comes to love, which is perpetuated by this square that she has with Neptune. If Neptune squares someone's Venus, they will fall delusionally in love. It doesn't matter if they're skiing down the fucking slope and there's red flag, red flag, red flag. Red flag after red flag telling you you're about to ski off the fucking cliff. It doesn't matter because because they're in love and we can make it through. And there's fuck logistics. Love isn't about logistics. Love is about a feeling. It's about a feeling in your heart, in your loins. That's all that matters. It's very impulsive and very delusional. Like Tommy Lee, really. I mean, I love Pamela, love her so much. But Tommy Lee, for fuck's sake. That man, there's something wrong with that man. It's the drummers. The drummers are just, they've got good rhythm, but not much else. Anyway, so yes, she has this Neptune square Venus. That's the delusional love. The Venus in Leo is very idealistic in love already. She loves to have a wild grand gesture kind of relationship. That's because Leo placements love to be the center of attention. It's literally, I'm not saying she's a narcissist, but Leo is like the most narcissistic sign because it's the sun. It's the center of our fucking solar system. It's ruled by the sun. So she needs to be seen. She needs to be adored, as she should, by the way. As she absolutely should. This is also perpetuated by Jupiter occupying Leo here. They're not in a conjunction, Jupiter and Venus, but they are sitting together. I think she's got a very generous heart. I also feel with this placement, because it's playing out in that fourth house, there's a love for animals, there's a love for family, like an undying loyalty to family. So I actually really enjoy these placements, but in terms of her love life, it's just hella dramatic. Look at this Mars at 22 degrees. I know that when she was a teenager, this is from memory, and I watched her documentary on Netflix, she was assaulted by multiple young men during a very formative part of her life. Sex is, I think she's a very highly sexed person, or was when she was younger especially, but there's also this exploitation of her for sex. Mars is at the 22 kill or be killed degree, and I could interpret the Mars in the fifth house as someone who really enjoys recreational sex. That indeed is there. But there's also the interception. I like to read interceptions. Her Mars, her phallus, her sexuality is withheld from her. So there's a bit of a disempowering energy as well. So there's a bit of a contradiction of things with this interception of Mars in the fifth house. Certainly she gets a lot of pleasure and joy from it on one hand, and on the other hand, it's been taken from her, or it's been withheld from her, or used against her. The 22 degree. Sex could be a really intelligent power move, but it could also be something that harms her, that could hurt her. And it looks like a T-square. It forms a T-square with Mercury, its opposition with the moon. Oh, she has a T-square with personal planets. That's not easy. That's chaotic. She's a chaos goblin, as my friend Michelle, who's another astrologist, would say. Chaos goblin. Aries moon square Mercury in Cancer, square Mars in Libra, opposite that Aries moon. She has impulse. Well, when she was much younger anyway. Definitely a lot of impulse issues, impulsivity. Because if you've got personal planets that are T-squared like this, you're pulled in so many different directions. Emotionally, the moon; sexually, the Mars; and Mercury, the mind. She's three different people in one. And that can lead to confusion. It can lead to sexual irresponsibility, and it can lead to emotional outbursts. So, yeah. If your moon and your Mars, and the moon is in Aries, so Aries is governed by Mars. This is really, really painful. I think she ping pongs back and forth between people pleasing and being self-sufficient and self-indulgent and well, selfish. I don't like that word selfish for Aries placements. I'm an Aries myself. Maybe that's selfish anyway. But yeah, she ping-pongs back and forth between having agency and being independent and, going her own way. And then there's this other part of her that's incredibly people-pleasing and wants to make, she wants to hold down a fort that is on fire. And having the moon and the Mars opposition and then squaring with Mercury's at the apex of this, causes her mental health issues and physical and mental harm, because Mercury governs both the body and the mind, because it's Virgo. It governs Virgo and Virgo 6th house and Gemini 3rd house. So yeah, she suffers physically and she suffers mentally as a result of that push and that pull. Yeah. Oh, she doesn't have an easy. Now, if we move up here, let's look at these Aries placements. Saturn intercepted. Dad's not available. Her parents had a very difficult marriage, from what I understand. I think her father was not good to her mother. I would even use the word abusive, based on what I observed in the documentary. There is a story about him killing her kittens as a child. Like, I'm sorry, the fuck. Oh, her dad sounds like a problem. And I know she's close to him now, and he's probably worked through a lot of demons. She lives with them. I think she lives on their property in Canada. But it seems like he did a lot to traumatize her, and that could be the root of her really poor decisions when it comes to men. But her dad had anger issues, clearly. And Saturn also intercepted as a father that is away, or a father that is not very present. There's a lack of structure, or there's a lack of safety there. Not Neptune, sorry. Lilith is also here in the mix. Lilith and the moon together. I always say Lilith is where you should be free. If you've got a prominent Lilith placement with a feminine planet, you probably shouldn't really be married, and she's currently not. She keeps getting married. I think the Saturn in such close proximity with the moon has her really craving something traditional in terms of her domestic sphere, her domestic life. But the Lilith here is saying, nah, I don't like to be in a cage. Because eventually she figures out she doesn't want to be in a cage. But she's been married, 6 or 7 times? Something like that. She's been married multiple times, and I'm not surprised, but she should stay single. She could have people with heavy Lilith with a personal planet, they don't have to sign a contract. Very often they do, and they shouldn't. But they do really well when they can be in a partnership that allows them to be free. They need to be free in relationships, not withheld within them, and they should not be handcuffed to them. And very often, because she's Pamela Anderson, she's handcuffed. She's handcuffed to her relationships. Saturn. Hold on. Saturn square the sun. I know she's very popular and she's very beloved, and she was a sex symbol and all these things. So in one way, she was, she got approval. That is true. But when Saturn squares your sun, you're not taken that seriously, because Saturn represents society. It represents the father and men. The sun represents your creative force, like your ego, your creative expression, the expression of the self artistically, right? And at every turn, up until quite recently, because now she's in her 60s, because now she's lost her sex appeal, and I don't want to say she's lost her beauty, but she's aged now. She's aged out of being a sex symbol. Now she's taken seriously. So the good news is that Saturn square the sun ages really well. But when you're young and you're trying to be yourself and be expressive and, you know, be creative and or just show up and be brave, you will get laughed at. Saturn, the patriarchy, the system, the rules and the regulations don't allow for your ego to grow. In fact, it knocks you down a peg. It humbles you. And she has been humbled. And she didn't even deserve it. So, yeah, so I've got Saturn square sun. It is not a walk in the fucking park. Because what I do, for example, what I do as an astrologer, and yes, some of my family know about it, they think that I'm a scam artist, and they think that I'm just an idiot, really. But whatever, let them think what they want to think. I'm not going to stop being myself. And this is where I tell you, if you have Saturn square your sun, fine, be the fucking narcissist. Be the fucking narcissist. Be the icon. Just be you. Let them suffer. Let them watch. That evil eye will come back and slap him in the face anyway. But yes, Saturn square the sun. Not good when you're young. It's good when you're old, because then you retrospectives or retrospect actually helps a lot with this placement. People look back and they're like, wow, everybody was mean to you. Yeah, they fucking were. So it's quite good. She's due for her Saturn return very soon. You can see here, Saturn's currently halfway through Pisces. There's one year and 1 month, 13 more months left of this Saturn transit, and it's going to swing into Aries. She's going to have her Saturn return, and it is on like Donkey Kong. She'll likely get more projects. I think she's going to get a lot of work. I think she's going to make a lot of money for this. This is her second time round with this. And last time she had this, do you know the last time she had her Saturn return? She got married, I think, just before. But she had a couple of babies, and then her honeymoon tape with Tommy Lee came out. That was humiliating. Like, it was really rough. So because she went through such a hard time with the first Saturn return, this time round it's gonna be her reward. She will be given accolades and rewards, rewards. If she doesn't get those, she certainly will get a lot of work, which will be great. And the Pamela Sance is going to continue. I like this for her. I think she deserves this. I do believe that her nodal return, which was 2022, that was when the Pamela, her documentary on Netflix came out, and I remember watching that thinking, wow. Also, I remember, I think it happened during Aquarius season when the sun went over her midheaven. Aquarius transits are really, really good for work and really good for reputation. So I'm not surprised there. But yeah, this is a really good time for her, actually. Let's move down here. She's got 5th house in Virgo, which is a fertile sign, Pluto and Uranus, so she's likely going to have genius kids. Her kids seem real solid. You can tell she raised them. Tommy's a problem, but the kids seem to be turning out really well because of her. Very wacky, very creative. Pluto and Uranus in the 5th house, and it's really well aspected, so it could be malefic, it could go left, it could go left. But I'm going to be positive here because the Pluto and Uranus are so well aspected. Like her wherever Pluto is where you see transformation. Her children transformed her. Her children changed her. Her children protect her. So she's also got Pluto and Neptune sextiling. It's in a mini trine with Mercury and Neptune here as well. Yeah, her kids save her. Her kids carry on her legacy. Her kids keep her grounded. They're good for her mental health, actually. Children are super good for her. Even though having them was really traumatizing and difficult, because when she had them, she was going through all this bullshit with the media and with the court system and these people that stole her tape, and her dickhead husband at the time. Ugh. Tommy, yuck, you are not worthy of this goddess. She will continue to do really well. Venus moving through the midheaven is really good for money. So I think Venus was in a conjunction when it was announced. Venus was in a conjunction with the midheaven when it was announced that she was nominated for a Golden Globe. I took this quite a few days ago, by the way, this little snapshot with the transits. So these are not up-to-date transits, okay? And yeah, Pluto's going to go through go through here for 20 years. She's still a young woman, so she's this will be a very beautiful time for her. She's getting a break. Even when Pluto swings into Pisces, like it's fine. She's got no placements up here that would. She's gone through enough transformation. She's gone through enough. I will say she's quite lucky because Pluto started in Virgo, and it's not in a conjunction with any of her placements. So she's largely avoided Pluto. She's avoided Pluto, except Pluto in Libra. Pluto and Libra, that would have been in the early 80s when she was a teenager. That's when she got assaulted. Pluto and Libra. Pluto moving through Libra, going over her Mars. That's when she had a bulk of her sexual trauma, which is really interesting. Jupiter and Gemini. That's been kind to her because she has a Gemini rising, and then this will continue because Jupiter will shift into Cancer over her over her Sun and her Mercury. I'm wondering, she's already written a book, hasn't she? She might write it. It would be nice if she wrote another one because it would make money. Because when Jupiter crosses over your Mercury, your ideas, your thoughts do really well. Like if you can manifest them into something like a book or a story or a podcast or a speech, or like she'll be speaking more during this period. Like she'll be invited to talk at a university, or she'll be, maybe she'll be, talking to Oprah on a couch. Like that would be very helpful for her. And then when Jupiter moves into Leo, does she have grandkids yet? Because if she doesn't, they might be on the way. She'd make her a super cute grandma. Anyway, okay, that's all I have for you guys with Pamela Anderson. We love her. She's a beautiful, kind, wonderful human being. And I don't care what she says. Pamela, you are a feminist icon, so we love her. It's okay if she doesn't have to think that, but I think that. So guys, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Much love. Bye.